Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here, and Tuesday looking a lot like Monday as we see our temperatures continue to be quite mild. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking more about what's going to be happening in the next couple of days, Christmas Eve, Christmas, if you're going to be doing any kind of holiday travel over the next few days, what things are looking like. So, I'm going to try to answer that question for you and give you the details of how things play out over the next few days through the holiday and into the weekend. We do have some changes that take place during that time frame that you're going to want to know about. So I'm going to give you the first alert to what to expect. Here's where we're at right now. We have some high cloud cover that's in place, and this will kind of drift in and out as the day goes on, though we will see some sunshine alongside it. 42 degrees where we're at, north wind in place, 10 miles per hour, so it does feel a little bit more like the mid 30s. It's overall not going to be quite as warm as yesterday. Temperature is going to peak in the mid 50s after this start, where most of us are in the 40s. We'll continue to step things up through the rest of the day, but overall, just not quite to the same level of warmth as yesterday. Here's where we end up. You see how that warming trend goes. Still, we're talking about 55 degrees. That's well above average for this time of year. Our average high is 36 for today. So we're almost 20 degrees warmer than where we would typically be for the days leading up to Christmas. I think we'll take it. And the other side of it, which that graphic got left out here, but we're not looking at much in the way of wind either. We're just going to be talking about some gusts that end up around 10, 15 miles per hour. So less wind than yesterday as well. So still going to be pretty pleasant through the rest of the day. And here you can kind of see how those clouds just kind of drift in and out as we go through the day. We'll still have some sunshine. Lots to like about how the rest of our day goes for our Tuesday. Now, as we get into the nighttime hours, we'll start to pull some cloud cover in the evening. And as we get into the overnight, notice the difference here in what we're seeing with the kind of shade of our color. This is more high cloud cover that you're looking at. This to the south, where it's a little more of a whitish gray, that's the fog that will be developing as we head through the overnight and start to surge into our area as we bring a little more moisture into our region. And that's going to be with us as we start off our Christmas Eve. So get ready for what will be a morning where we have some lowered visibility. We likely don't keep that all day long with the fog. You can see it's still kind of hanging around into the middle of the day. But as we get toward the afternoon, should be able to punch some holes in that, get a little bit of some sunshine trying to break through those clouds before it sets. Visibility will be the most impacted very early on in the day, and then we'll gradually improve that as our day goes on. So let me show you what the day at large looks like for Christmas Eve. You can see we start off with some fog. We'll have the clouds around as well. It's not really until we get late in the day where we try to get a little sunshine to break through. As a result, we're going to be a little cooler. We'll top out with highs in the upper 40s. Now, thankfully, we're above freezing that whole time we have the fog, so don't have to worry about the slick spots that would develop as a result of that. More so just some lowered visibility with that. A lot of low clouds through much of the day, and then we try to clear that as we get toward the late afternoon. So let's pick back up where we were Wednesday afternoon. And you can see those gaps that are getting created in the low clouds and the fog. Well, once we lose the daylight, that starts to build right back in. And here we go. We've got fog present once again as we are heading into Wednesday night and into our Christmas Day proper. So, yes, Santa will be using Rudolph for Wednesday night with the way things are unfolding with our forecast. As you take a look at what we are seeing for Thursday, you can kind of see that we don't really get a lot of improvement in our sky cover. Likely dry. I think this is a little overdone with what it's trying to do with trying to put any kind of moisture to the ground, but I do think we are going to be looking at fog and a lot of low clouds throughout our day on Thursday. And so when we look at the overall forecast for Christmas Day, again, 48 degrees. It's going to be really tough to get any kind of gaps in that cloud cover. I think we're going to be kind of stuck in it all day long. We'll have fog, especially in the morning. And whereas we had been talking about the chance to maybe get some, at least get close to the record high it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore with that fog around and the struggle to clear it out. The record high would be 57. I think we're in the upper 40s for our high. So, there's our Christmas time frame, and you can see that is the coolest of the next 5 days. As we get toward Friday, Saturday, we're right back in the mid-50s. We get some sunshine back overhead. This is a very mild stretch. Even Wednesday and Thursday that are cooler are well above average. You can see there, our average high this time of year is in the mid-30s, so we are way above that over the course of the rest of the week and into the beginning of the weekend. Yes, the beginning of the weekend, because we are seeing increasing signs that we see a change in those temperatures as we get into the back half of the weekend. This is where the front that comes through, and you can see how we still have those mild temps firmly in place for Friday. Watch what happens here. Notice that big area of pink up in the Dakotas? That is the cold air behind the front that will surge in. And where we get to Saturday afternoon, evening, the front arrives. That will stir the winds up, turn those to the northwest, and really start to pull in that much colder air that will be firmly in place for Sunday. And still, we'll feel it some on Monday as well, and then we'll make our way out of it by the time we get to Tuesday. Let me show you how the winds happen with this. So start the day Saturday with south wind, and then as we get to the afternoon, we'll start to turn those to the northwest. We'll start to pick those up. Late in the day, get some gusts up around 30 miles per hour. Into the evening, we get overnight. We're looking at some gusts that get up around 35. Could get a couple near 40 miles per hour to the northwest. And we'll hold on to those kind of gusts through the day on Sunday. And when you're combining these kind of winds with the temperatures that we're going to be seeing, it's going to feel quite chilly for Sunday. Let me put some numbers to that. So there's the first half of the 10-day, and you can see 40s, 50s for highs. Not a lot of change into the nighttime hours either. You can see a lot of mid to upper 30s for lows. Then that front comes through Saturday. A low of 20 by the time we get to Sunday morning. Struggling to get back to 30, that's the air temperature. And then you add in that wind, and that's going to make it feel more like the teens during the day on Sunday. Not as windy on Monday, but again, in the 30s for our highs. And then we'll start to recover some and go back above average as we get to the end of 2025. And yes, that's New Year's Day there at the very end of the 10-day. And we're looking at upper 40s for a nice mild start to the new year. And the trend as we start off 2026 is pointing strongly toward warmer than average weather, not just here, but really throughout the country. It's a very strong sign that things will be warmer than average for those first few days of the new year. Of course, we got a long way to go when it comes to winter, but at least as we're heading into the new year, it does look quite mild for us. So that's the latest on what things are looking like over the next few days. Rather gray for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then we start to warm things back up before that cold blast by Sunday. I'll have all the latest details on how things go for the rest of the day and beyond that coming up here at the top of the hour on First Alert 6. I hope you join me for that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and get out and enjoy some of that sunshine that's going to be out there. There's not a ton of it over the next several days.